Thank you so much for joining us on another show, another episode of Security 247 on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you guys are good and you're enjoying the weather. If this is your first time of joining us, I'm going to say welcome on this show. We try as much to give you and to educate you on issue of security, and it's powered by Lagos State Government. So I'm bringing this show to you courtesy of Lagos State Government to educate you and to continue to support you on issue of security and safety. So without much ado, we're going to jump into our program today so that you can be part of it. I'm going to be giving out the number too, and I do call out the number on time so that in case you want to prepare where you're going to call us from, wherever you are, you're either driving or you are home or you are in a lounge or somewhere listening to us right now. So get prepared. The number to call when we start this show is 080-99-120777 or 0915-387-7127. You can also send us an SMS or WhatsApp so that we can read you and what you intend to tell us. Today, my guest and I are going to be looking at security and safety of family life. No, security and safety of family life. We definitely need you guys to be safe. Like I told you, Lagos State cares. Lagos State wants each and every one of us to survive. That wherever we are, in our neighborhood, in our community, we must try as much to exhibit at least some security consciousness. So, the studio with me this morning is Mr. Patrick Great Aiboha. He's a journalist and child advocate. Mr. Patrick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very fine. Thank you for this privilege.
Okay, I'm going to speak out. It's a microphone, so enjoy it, love it. It's expecting you. So, if time permits, we also be looking at since we are discussing family security and safety, we try as much to see how parents can teach their child about bullying too, if time permits me, because in all of this educating our families and our families on issue of security and safety, that's a whole lot. But let me allow my guest to do the talking today, Mr. Patrick. Security and family, security and safety of family life. Your take?
Thank you very much. And when we talk about security and safety of family life, we are talking about advocating and administering security and safety of members of our families. But let me also come from another direction. I have come to realize that in the course of trying to advocate and administer safety and security in our home, we are also somehow exposing our children to insecurity.
Okay.
I, for instance, I have learnt a lot recently. I am from a background where I noticed and observed a whole lot of things in the society, and I vowed within me that I will never allow any such vices to have its way in my home. Mm-hmm. So I came up with that biased mind against those vices of the society, and I became so aggressive to fight it. So I handled it with my children in a manner that made my good intentions to seem to be appearing like bad intentions. So, and in the long run, acts and attitudes like that might make you to be perceived as you as a bully yourself. It could even make you to be perceived as a tyrant or even as a narcissist. So the problem I'm trying to bring out from this point is that while we are trying to advocate and administer safety and security among our family members, we should also be careful about the attitude we put into it. There is a way we are going to handle these safety and security issues among our family members that will make even the children that we are trying to, put security and safety into will begin to feel uncomfortable with the system of the home, and they will go out to vices whose mouths are already open wide to swallow those children. I have seen a couple of situations whereby children just got tired of the home because the father was so strict, the mother was so also strict, and then each time they try to correct the child, they give them discipline that eventually turned out to become an abuse rather than discipline. So, I as a person, I observe these issues, and with the way I was being very strict. I'm a very aggressive, strict, and principled person in my home. And I come to realize at the point that the way I was handling the security and safety, so to speak, in the family was almost making my good intentions to appear like bad intentions. So pedal down, and I sit down and I looked at it from one angle or the other.
Okay.
So while we are trying to advocate and administer safety and security in our family, we also have to be conscious of the insecurities that it could produce in the lives of these children, so that we know how to come in and how to go out of it.
Okay, so what are those some of the security and safeties of families we need to start inculcating in the family?
Yeah, we have to start understanding our children.
Okay.
Our spouses, who are their friends, where they go to, what they think, what they reason, what they perceive about life. Like yesterday, a man called me. He's a military officer, so to speak. His family members are in Canada. He just went over to spend some time with them, and he called me yesterday. He told me that they were looking for his son. A boy of about, I think that boy should be like 12 or thereabout. They were looking for him all around the house. They didn't see him. And they searched everywhere till they got into the wardrobe. They saw him locked up in the wardrobe with a tab. Lo and behold, what was he doing? He was watching porn movies. And, they were scared. They said it's like he started this thing a couple of months ago. And they didn't take note. But what they knew is that suddenly they discovered that he started bedwetting. He was among the best in the school. He started derailing academically, but they didn't understand. He was no more focused until yesterday when they discovered that act with him. So the father had to call my attention from Canada, and I just tried to explain some things to him, how they should use love to correct and to get rid of those things from his hands, and also make sure that they follow up on him in such a manner that he won't now eventually feel they hate me in this family, they don't like me, because that alone could just make him go outside and go away. That is usually what the devil thrives on. So while we are trying to to manage the safety and security issues in our families, we also must just take cognizance of those lapses that could form another bedrock for destruction.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Patrick Aibuha, journalist and child advocate. In case he's just joining us, SECURITY247 on Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM. My name is Richard Amuwa. I actually didn't remember if I introduced myself earlier. I'm the president of Child Safety Education and Protection Initiative, and a child advocate, a security consultant, and a broadcast journalist. So I do this every Saturday, and what I do on Traffic Radio here is powered by Lagos State Government for me and my team to educate you on the issue of security and safety. And if you have any question, because the authorities are listening and they want to support and want to help you, because if there's anything Lagos State Government is concerned about, is to make sure that we all sleep our two eyes closed. And that's why we are on radio every Saturday at 11, bringing this to you. Without much ado again, let me quickly hand over to my producer, Dayo. Dayo, been a while. I mentioned a lot of people have lost touch that you and I actually work on SECURITY247.
Yes, it's actually been a while that we've been on the program together, and that's because some things came up and I just have to step back and let Rui do the production. And well, it feels good to be seated here. Let me quickly take traffic updates, but I have a question for our guests.
Okay.
All right, traffic update coming in from Ekpe Access says location is around Mayfair Garden. It's a lone accident. A loaded tanker with unrefined oil fell on its side. Okay, unrefined oil fell on its side. Okay, so I was going to sound wait. Okay, action taken is that efforts is on for its removal while police have been informed. Also, traffic has been diverted on contraflow. Again, there is a lone accident around Mayfair Garden. It's a loaded tanker with unrefined oil that fell on its side. As it says, we have traffic managers on ground doing the needful, and traffic has been diverted on contraflow. Let me also take one more report, then we'll move on to SECURITY247. All right, Oshodi Access says movement from Oshodi inward to Yota connecting Sele is good in and out, while Sele inward Fat Beams is also very okay inward Mile 12 access this morning. So it's all good around Oshodi Access. All right, so back to Security 247. Now, I have a question. You were talking about correcting that child with love. But what happened to the African theory of spare the rod and spoil the child, or even the biblical theory of spare the rod and spoil the child? For some people, they believe because you pamper the child or you try to wind your way and win your way into the child's heart so that they don't feel loved, they will go outside. But sometimes correction, instant correction, spanking, has an effect.
Yeah, let me respond to that. You see, wisdom, they say it's profitable to direct. And I think that applies to every area of life, including this one we are talking about. It's not as if there are no situations where you need to make use of the rod, but there are situations whereby if you make use of the rod, it will cause more harm than good. Rather than the child understanding the reason why you are doing that, the child might just think that you are just being hateful, and will see it as an opportunity or as a privilege to return back to where he was initiated into that vice. And so I feel that it's not in every case, because I, as a person, I used to be a very rod-oriented man, honestly, until I realized that, okay, there was a day my children went to their mother, and reported me to their mother. So the mother came to me. My wife said, "Dear, your children reported you to me." I said, "What happened?" They said, "Daddy is just too strict. Every little thing he spanks us. Every little thing he spanks us, and he calls himself a pastor." Honestly, that gave me a second thought. Another point, it's one thing for you to have knowledge about something, the original knowledge. It's another thing for you to brush up that knowledge with some other information that you need. If you understand how to treat a child, if you understand how to discipline a child, there are some other understandings you need to have that you don't have, that you need to have in order for you to brush up yourself, so that in the long run, like I said earlier, your good intentions don't end up as bad intentions, so that at the end of the day, you are not perceived in another light, seeing you as a bullying father, a bullying parent, a narcissist, so that you are not seen or perceived as a tyrant leader in the home.
Okay.
So that's.
Okay, Mr. Patrick. For those of you joining us, Mr. Patrick Amuwa is our guest today, a journalist and child advocate, and we're looking at security and safety of family life. And looking at that topic today, I know that about 75 to 80% of parents always say that drugs are not available in their neighborhood. But today, a lot of children know where those drugs are. And because those children are involved in all this narcotic stuff. So what is your take on that?
If I want to shock you now, you will be surprised that the level at which this drug engagement among teenagers especially is thriving is beyond human comprehension.
Okay.
Quite a number of people assume some categories or some levels of children to be innocent children, but when you go deep into them, you will discover that honestly the least expected ones are the ones truly engaged in drugs. From a particular category or caliber of families, so to speak, that you think that no, they are done, they are okay, they are fine. Those are the people who are actually engaged in it. They're doing a lot of stuff today that the society makes them feel or believe that without drug, man, you can't be high, you cannot be hype enough.
So what should the family be doing right now? Because we keep saying it, family it makes society great. If Lagos is going to be amazing today, it's going to start from family. So what do you think families should be doing right now?
Okay, fine. Families should be very conscious. Heads of families, heads of homes should be very conscious, and then they should take precaution. They should also make sure they follow up on their children, watch their children. What I don't allow you stay too long in the toilet, stay too long in the bedroom. What are you doing? I don't allow you stay too long in the room alone while everybody's together, playing, laughing, gisting. You just exonerate yourself. I just want to check on you to know what you're doing. Sometimes I try to pick on my children's phones to know, because a lot of these children, they communicate on different social media platforms, how they get their drugs, how they make their transfer, how they get their monies paid. So parents should be conscious of it. We should have this sense of awareness. Let us not assume that, oh, my child goes to church, my child goes to mosque, oh, he learns good morals, he learns biblical morals, Quranic morals, oh, my child is good.
Especially now you mentioned Quranic and Christian moral. Yesterday I was listening to a video very emotional and very informative by a reverend father, that parents, especially fathers, should not think that churches and school should help them to train their word. I'm like, whoa. So whether the children are going to go to school or they're going to go to religious places, centers, that the upbringing of children, first of all, starts from home, from family. Exactly. So we have what we're having today because we are losing family value today. What's your take about that?
Yeah, you see, I've said this.
I'm very sure you're a man of God too.
I've said this over and over. You see, the training of children begins with the home. You don't entrust the life of your children in the hand of a teacher who also, you don't know if he's into masturbation, you don't know if he's into porns, you don't know if he's into drugs. It's yourself, you know. Because let me tell you something, sir. There is one mystery about some parents. Some parents who are into drugs, they fight it against their children. They know the implications, they know the harms, they know how bad it is. So they make sure they fight it so that their children don't get involved in it. Because you are my child. I know what is good for you, and I know what I need to do to get you what is good for you. So I make sure I do everything to make you avoid what I am doing that I know is not good. Some parents are addicted to it, and they know that I'm in it, but my child, you won't continue. You can't inherit that straight. So parents should just be conscious. Parents should watch out, and they should make sure that they do everything within their reach to keep their eyes, keep a watch on every child, no matter how innocent the child appears to be.
If you listen to us right now, parents, wherever you are, mother, daddy, uncle, aunties, we always say, growing up, that it takes community to raise a child. If you're going to have a cleaner and a beautiful Lagos, a beautiful Nigeria, every family must wake up right now, guys. You know, time has passed when we think that those innocent children, they don't know anything. Again, in case you want to be part of this show, I've given out the number earlier, and in case you want to be part of the show again, 0809 912 0777. That is again 0809 912 0777 or 0915 387 7127. My name is Richard Amuwa, and my guest is Mr. Patrick Amuwa. We call him Patrick the Great. He's a journalist and child advocate. Don't forget, SECURITY247 is powered by Lagos State government, and this is one of the things that government is saying that you should know and put into practice so that we can have a beautiful and a better state. Talking about security and safety of family value or family life, how do we begin to advise parents on issue of stranger danger?
Stranger danger. That's very interesting. Fortunately, I happen to be a facilitator, a teacher, or let me say a lecturer in a few number of drug rehabilitation centers. And then some of the things I observed that led to their addiction or their involvement in drug is some of them people coming in to live with them as uncles, and maybe as their father's boy that worked with the father in his workshop, that worked with the father in his office, and he maybe had accommodation problem, or they brought him from another state into that state and they gave him a place to live with them. And suddenly he began to, initiate the man's children into all those stores. And then there is a case also of a particular young boy who came to live with a family from outside Lagos. And before you know it, he started introducing the children of that couple into sexual immorality through some porn videos on his phones. And as I speak to you now, honestly, it has affected some of those children because they are engaged in it. So those are those are part of it.
No, I could appreciate what you just said. Even sometimes when we bring this house help or whatever name you call them as house assistant, these guys they're all strangers to the children. Yeah, at a point we get the children, call them auntie, call them whatever. I think there is need for families to get the children to know this is our house assistant, this is a gardener, this is daddies or family driver, so that they can, as much as they want to bring them close as a family, the children should understand their place in the family too. What do you think about that?
Yes, yes, you're very right. Let me also buttress your point by saying that where do we keep our children? Where do we keep our children when we are out for walks? There are some parents who elate the outing they embark on, maybe for pleasure or whatever, more than the security of their children. They're going to parties, they have to take their little children to keep with a tenant, with a neighbor around. You don't know the tenant. To what extent do you trust? To what extent do you know the tenant? Even if you think the tenant is a good person or whatever, do you know the strangers who are attached to that tenant? Do you know the strangers who are associated with that neighbor? You just keep children. Those are part of the things we need to watch too in this stranger consciousness.
Okay.
You don't just keep your children anyhow. You don't tell your child, okay, after school you wait for me there, I'll come pick you. No, there should be proper arrangement to safeguard the lives of these children, so that we don't make them become vulnerable to all these stranger dangers.
Okay, Mr. Patrick, because of time, because this time is very, very short for me, I'm just praying that hopefully very soon I will have 1 hour to myself on this show, because that's almost okay. Dial.
Right, so let me quickly take this traffic update.
Okay.
And it came in saying good movement in and out of Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Also good movement from Isheri Luwura down to River Valley, Kusoko. It was just a bit of slight delay around VRS, and that's because of those who are queuing up to get fuel. The movement on to Grammar School, Omole Junction, Excellence, Ogba, Caterpillar, Odera, Wanko, all very good. The return journey also very, very okay. Let's see if that can be access. Very, very approachable.
Okay. SECURITY247 traffic radio, guys. I just have a few minutes to go, but you must answer this question. Jam just came out just a few days ago, because I'm going to relate it with security and safety. And it says that over 70% of children failed. What's the result of this? Social media?
There must be a lot of distractions, because when I had news, I told my daughter, check your JAMB result, and when she checked it, she was well above 230. And I said, how did you do it? Are you sure you didn't join those people? And this guy just said, no, now you know JAMB, you know the system of exam, you can't do a school and all that. I said, well, but why do people have to fail this much? And it was so shocking that I just come to understand that honestly there are so many distractions. Let's see, a lot of students want to do more of outside door, backyard door, than go
Is it the children or the family?
Yeah, families are also involved, because how do we follow up on our children's education?
Because we see a situation where a father actually went to write a jam for his son.
Imagine. So just imagine.
Guys, you see, 30 minutes is always enough for me to do my show. Sometimes I move it to next program. I mean next episode. Next week. But I'm not sure I'm going to be around next week for a live program. But I'm going to go to the studio right now to record something that you need to listen, which is security and safety tip for the month of May. Every month right now, I'm going to be giving you some security tips as to what you need to do. So hopefully, it's going to be a recorded one next week, and you're going to enjoy it. But trust me, call your friends, call your family, every one of you, your children, because my show is not just about you as a father, as a mother. We targeted children more because children are our heritage, and whatever it is that you know, we want them to know too. So, Mr. Patrick, as I take this program home, I want to quickly summarize and look, just pretend like we are looking at a father somewhere now, a mother somewhere. Talk to them as regard to the safety and security of their family.
Okay, parents, please be cautious. Be aware, don't be too carried away by what you do, your business, your job, career, or whatever, to the extent that you ignore or you abandon the welfare of the children. A lot of parents do these things. They go out there searching for what they want that will better their lot. As a matter of fact, what they are going out there for is for the benefit of the family, but the same family, they are not safeguarding the family's safety and security. So we are being carried away, and we are misplacing priorities. I want us to be conscious when we go out there to do those things that seem to matter also. Let's realize and bear in mind that our children, our home, our family also matter.
Okay, that's all we can take today on this show, but I need to quickly I want to quickly remind each and every one of you listening to me right now that the Sunday market still open tomorrow in your different local government. So please don't tell me you don't know what Lagos State government is doing. You can, during the week too, you can also go to your local government to find out the eco cares that is taking place too in your local government, wherever you are. Guys, listen, Mr. Governor have told us that please tell somebody to tell somebody what Lagos State government is doing. And don't go and collect your food and you don't tell your neighbor that government is actually giving this food. So across 20 local government and all the SCDA, wherever you are, ask question, Google it, find out. We all carry phone along. There is food, 25% being given to every Lagosian, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, wherever you come from. It doesn't matter to the government of Lagos State. What matters is that you just go and get something. So don't sit back and think that no, time of ignorance has passed. So if you don't have food right now, so that's where I'm going to end today. Don't forget that you seem to join me, and hopefully very soon Dayo is going to come back fully so that we can continue this train. I want to say thank you for being part of this show. Wherever you are, any part of Lagos that you have, do remember that you see something, you say something. Lagos is our home. Wherever you are, please, let's make it safe for every one of us. And I will end this show by telling you that security is a collective responsibility. I do my part, the government do their part, and you do your part. That's it for today. Remain safe and make sure that you are careful about your environment. As you party today, as you drive around, as you're in a filling station trying to get some fuel, just be careful and know the kind of things you say wherever you are. Dayo, thank you so much for producing me today. I want to say thank you to our executive producer too, Mr. Tayo Akonle, for being a great leader, for being a great guide to us. That's all for today. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.